Yes? Who is this? Hey, it sounds like we have a bad connection. Call me back.
Wait.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. By any chance, could you tell me your exact location? I'm delivering a pizza to 155 Jungle Street, and it isn't coming up in my GPS.
What? Who is this? Who ordered pizza? Pizza. Listen, I will not entertain you any longer. If you call here again, I will have you butchered. You hear me?
You don't know me, and I don't know you.
But you'll soon know me, and we will know each other. But know this, I have skills. Skills that make me a wet dream come true for someone like you.
Not the good kind. Bad kind smells like pee-pee. Skills that the ladies find dreamy like the good kind. Like the party in the pants can. Skills that...
If you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll find you and unleash the power.
Who is this? Tell me who you are.
I'm the guy that's gonna find you and kill you and get a muscle.
See you soon. Love you, bye.
Detectives pay a visit to Megan's ex, Wesley Barnes, who appears shocked to learn Megan has been killed.
I don't believe this.
We heard you were fighting with Megan over child support payments.
I got behind. Money's been tight.
So if you got rid of her, that will make things easier for you.
Nah, man. It's just cold.
He indicates that...
Where were you Friday night?
Working. I got a new job. Night shift. I mean, you can ask my crew chief.
He informs him that he...
Police began their interrogation.
Face to face with detectives, Josh appears upset about Teresa's disappearance.
Man, she means so much to me.
During the interview, but he said it wasn't going anywhere.
She wants to just keep things friendly. He obviously wanted more.
Although Josh also admits that Teresa had called him on Friday and told him she was breaking up with Dwayne.
You know, I was excited. I mean, we were gonna go out to the club.
She's starting to warm up a little bit. Says, you know what, Josh?
She told me to, you know, meet her out. We're gonna go to the club and, you know, have a good time.
What time was that?
It was around 10 o'clock, but I waited there for hours and hours, and, you know, she never showed up.
Josh said.
Where'd you go after that?
Home?
Oh, you went home?
Yeah.
You have someone that can vouch for you for that?
No.
You don't mind if we check your phone out, do you?
Yeah.
Scanning through Josh's texts appears to confirm his story.
He's a little perturbed. He's like, okay,
But they also wonder if there's more to the story than the texts reveal.
Were you aware that Therese met up with Dwayne earlier that afternoon?
No.
Really? Or did you actually find out and you got angry?
What are you trying to say, man?
And so they asked him straight up, was he upset enough to harm her?
No way, man.
With nothing to tie Josh directly to the crime, detectives let him go.
What's he whispering about?
See that guy at that table over there? Where? That guy sitting all alone. Oh, yeah. It's a joke. I pushed him down. He just took it. He's a nobody. Look at him. Blame
himself.
Sorry, everyone. Noah's not feeling very well, so we're gonna have to cancel today's workout. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I fear had not Triumphant showed up when he did it, this team would be no more.
Misa looked like a Freddy cat. What's Misa name?
Chief Palpatine.
Misa Jar Jar Binks. Let's be best palos.
You don't do that to me.
Look, if you don't like it, maybe you should go back home.
They got to the point to where he was like, all right, go back to New Orleans. She started to see that he was really serious. I know you know, and I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing.
But according to her friend Brittany, Sierra couldn't accept that.
The jealousy got to her.
Ares! You sit perched on top of Mount Olympus and do nothing? Come down here and face me!
Grab a seat. Thanks for coming in, man.
We look at our list of survivors, and the first person we contact is Calvin Porter.
Tell us what you remember from the night of the shooting. Well, I heard a knock. I opened the door, and 4 guys with guns forced their way in. So you said 4 guys? Yeah, it was a robbery.
Calvin Porter says as soon as these 4 guys come through with handguns, one of them up front says, "Where the money at? Where the money at?"
You want the money? I know you got it. Hey, know you got it.
Recording studios are robbed often. People there typically work late nights when people are sleeping. A lot of people that come there have high-end cars, cash, sometimes marijuana, jewelry. That's the score.
Where that? Ain't no money. Where there? Okay, keep going. Well, they grabbed my coworker Donnell. They made us take off our pants, and they forced us down to our hands and knees.
We're dealing with experienced robbers, and these guys are leaving robbery signatures.
We did it.
With your pants down below your knees, they can't just get up and start running out of the house.
And they shot us anyway.
You can't just think like the mind of a gunman. We can only speculate. Those were put down shots to make sure these guys didn't get up after they left.
You grab a look at the shooter?
Yeah.
Would you be able to point him out in the lineup? Maybe. All right, brother. Look, man, tell me something. Do any of these look like any of the shooters?
We're like waiting and waiting and waiting. We're like, come on, man, pick somebody.
None of them look familiar, man. Brother, you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure.
Based off how descriptive he was, I just thought the brother was gonna pick somebody. Goose eggs.
All right, Calvin. Can you at least describe the guy who shot you? I can do you one better. What?
Quinn and I looked at each other like, what the hell?
Spit out that name, brother.
I can't wait to hear this.
Why'd you lie?
The investigation takes a giant leap forward. Everyone was telling the same story.
The day before the shooting, he came out with some guys that I thought was, kind of shady.
This was a pre-planned attack. We're finally going to get to the bottom of this.
They forced us down to our hands and knees. You grab a look at the shooter? Kind of.
We bring this information to one of our survivors, Calvin Porter. He's the one who opened up the door, so we think he's going to make an ID.
Do any of these look like any of the shooters?
We're like waiting and waiting and waiting. We're like, come on, man, pick somebody.
None of them look familiar, man.
We had information Brandon and Travis were involved in this, and now we're finding out this might not even be the case.
Can you at least describe the guy who shot you? I can do you one better. I can tell you his name. What? Spit out that name, brother.
And with that new information, Calvin sends his case in a whole new direction.
It was uptown. Who's uptown? He did some work at the studio.
I'm like, damn, was this an inside job?
What kind of work? He was a runner.
Calvin explains that Uptown's real name is Damon Smith, and that he's actually the guy that looks for talent to bring to the business.
See, that makes sense. There's a lot of hot rappers in that area.
Even the Atlanta University Center were fertile ground to find talent for this particular studio. They called it From the Ground Up because they wanted to use talent from the neighborhood.
Well, Uptown wasn't there for very long. Man, the day before the shooting, he came out with some guys that I thought was, kind of shady. What do you mean by shady? They were quiet, They didn't seem like they were there coming to lay down some tracks. I think those were the guys that shot up the studio. So maybe they were casing out the place.
Based on other witnesses, it seems like the gunmen knew their way around this music studio. And it lines up because if Uptown brought someone to the studio the day before, they would have had the lay of the land.
Yeah, that's starting to make sense, man.
It's a distinct possibility Uptown may have set this whole thing up.
Yo, my man, do y'all have a record of who comes in and out of the studio?
No. You have Uptown's number? No.
Gava tells us he doesn't have any way of getting in contact with Uptown, but the owner of the studio, Miguel Perez, he'll be able to get in touch with Uptown for us.
Look, man, we appreciate you, man. It's a huge help.
Yeah. Thanks, Calvin.
This interview